A 12-year sentence for Romario Brown, the man who pleaded guilty to killing well-known fashion designer Dexter Pottinger, has left the deceased man's family unhappy. They were hoping that Mr. Brown would have been given the maximum life sentence allowed for manslaughter, but the judge did not and explained why. TVJ's Kirk Wright was in court and filed this report.
Romario Brown, the 23-year-old killer, was sentenced to 12 years for manslaughter, 4 years for larceny, and 1 year for simple larceny. The sentences are to run concurrently, which means Mr. Brown will end up spending only 12 years in prison. The fashion designer's decomposing body was found by his brother on August 31, 2017. Police reports indicate that Mr. Brown, a steel worker and tattoo artist, stole several items from Mr. Pottinger's house, including his Honda CR-V, after killing him. The judge pointed out that the maximum sentence for manslaughter was life imprisonment. In handing down the 12-year sentence, presiding Judge Shelley Williams said she was not going to follow the sentencing guidelines for manslaughter based on the circumstances surrounding the case. The judge says she took into account Mr. Brown's good social inquiry report, the almost 2 years that he has been locked up, and the fact that he pleaded guilty to committing the crime. This despite the fact that Mr. Brown was on bail for murder when he killed Mr. Pottinger. But on the flip side, the judge said she also took into consideration the fact that Mr. Brown waited for days before accepting that he had killed Mr. Pottinger. Before the sentence was announced, Mr. Pottinger's siblings broke down in court and begged the judge to hand down the maximum penalty of life sentence. In the end, they were disappointed.
Our brother was taken from us, so we wanted the accused to be convicted of murder. But given the circumstances and the judge explaining herself, and she sentenced him to 17 years, I guess it's just a case of you can take what you can get, given the circumstances.
There's so many other facts.
With respect to the details of the case, a lot of details were left out. And I don't think it makes sense that Jamaica's judicial system is just using the accused account of things as the whole truth, when that's not the case, when physical evidence is pointing to something else.
The family says it was borne out in the investigations that another man was at the house when Mr. Pottinger was killed, and that they are concerned that to date no mention has been made of that person. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.